What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. And this time, honey, I'm back with old nasty recap, honey, of Marriage Boot Camp. This is season 17, episode 5. Y'all, I can't believe this crappy ass show has been on for 17 seasons, honey, okay? They don't deserve that type of longevity, honey, in my opinion. I have a video coming out, you guys, tomorrow with Carlos King, and he talks about Claudia Jordan should replace Nene Leakes. If she is to leave the franchise, he feels like Claudia Jordan, honey, could wear Nene Leakes' shoes. And y'all know I totally disagree with that, okay? So, that video will be uploaded tomorrow. And in that video, I will be talking about marriage, Love and Marriage, Huntsville, honey. I'll be talking about that in that video. So, look out for that. Now, honey, let's get to this recap of Marriage Boot Camp, honey. This episode, honey, was off the hook. Okay, so, honey, let's get off into it. Okay, so first off, we got Hazel E and Davon. They have made up, honey. It wouldn't have been me. I wouldn't have been so forgiving of Davon, because y'all remember he snatched her phone away from her, honey. Wouldn't have been me, honey. He was doing too much. We find out that Hazel may be pregnant, and, you know, she shares with Dr. Ish. She has been bleeding. So Dr. Ish, she sends her away to get checked out at the hospital. Next, we see the other boot campers. They participate in an escape room experience where they have to communicate and trust their partners, so they are locked in their rooms. And the whole premise of this game is to find the key, unlock the door, and get out the room. Okay? So next, honey, we see Corrupt's ungrateful ass is taking orders from Tony, and he's yelling at her. And I'm like, damn, Corrupt, could you just listen to your lady, honey? If it were me, honey, I would have been petty while he was blindfolded. And I would have been having his ass run into all types of shit so his drunk ass will fall down on purpose, honey. But that's just my evil eye, honey. That's just what I would do. We see Vado and Tahiry, they struggle with their communication, you know, during the exercise. Next, we see Willie and Shonda. They end up putting their old puzzle pieces together, honey. And then we see Medina and Phaedra. They struggle during the challenge. Medina says that he's focused, but Phaedra isn't. And to me, it just seemed like Phaedra was uninterested in the activity. I'm just like, Phaedra, be a team with this man. Help the man out, okay? Don't you want to find a key so y'all can get out the room? I'm just like, what is up with Phaedra, honey? Phaedra, she laying on the bed making all types of excuses, honey. She said that the lock in the room is faulty and they programmed it wrong. I said, ooh, child. Next, we see Willie and Shonda. They are making headway in the escape room challenge. And Shonda discovers Willie has had 12 affairs. Willie, why you do that? Why, Willie? Why? My issue, honey, with Shonda is, Shonda, why are you bothered with how many affairs Willie has had when you have taken him back after every single one? Make it make sense. You knew this man wasn't no damn good, and you actually shocked by the number, honey. You, every time a man cheat, you taking right back. What is the point? Why even be shocked by the number of times he cheated? Like, girl. But, honey, this is what happens when you allow yourself to be disrespected, honey, over and over again. And Shonda needs to respect herself and move on from Willie, honey. And that is just my opinion. I'm sick of people talk about they stand with people because they got children. If it's an unhealthy environment for you guys and the children, it is an unhealthy environment. It's a toxic relationship, and the children are looking at you too. Child. Shonda and Willie were the first people to figure out how to get out of their escape room. One thing I noticed with them that they had over all the other couples is they tend to, work well together. They were both committed to finding the pieces to get out of the room. They were working as a team. And, they've been together the longest, so that let me know, there's something there in their relationship, that's keeping them together. They both seem committed, unlike the other couples, but, we'll get to them. Next, we see Tahiry and Vado. They open their door second. Next, we see that Phaedra is asleep. I'm looking like not the ambitious perfectionist attorney, honey. Okay, Phaedra, get your ass up and help Medina. What is you doing, honey? And one thing I noticed with their relationship, you guys, is it just seems like Phaedra does not admire or respect this man because he's on her level. And I know it sounds weird, but it seems like Phaedra may be the type of woman that wants her partner to be a little bit below her on an economic status, and then maybe intelligence wise, because we know that damn Apollo used to fuck up all kind of words, honey, in the dictionary, and then Phaedra would have to correct him. You guys, it's just not making no sense to me. What is going on with Phaedra and Medina's relationship? Because it just looked like she called him up, honey, at the last minute and said, honey, we got to be on boot camp, honey, because I needs that check, honey. It looked like Medina agreed. It just don't look like these two are really into each other. I saw more passion out of Phaedra when she was with Apollo, honey. I don't get it, Phaedra. Okay, do you have something for ex-cons and felons? Is that something that tickles your fancy, honey? Let me know, honey, because I'm trying to figure it out, honey. Medina is a fine man, educated man, strong man, no prison record, honey. Why you ain't let that man hit that yet? He ain't hit the twins line, not a drop. You need to let that man hold a little something, honey, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Next, honey, we see Shonda, and she is still struggling with the number of affairs Willie has had. And I'm just like, girl, you wasting your damn time. You wasting our time, because we all know that's all you have allowed this man to do is cheat on you, and you take him right back. So, I mean, that alone, that shows me that you don't really care how many times he's cheated, because you ain't gonna do nothing but take him right back, okay? We see Phaedra. She still ain't helping Medina. We see even Corrupt and Tony are working together, which is shocking. I thought that they would struggle with the activity, honey, more than anybody in the damn thing, honey, okay? Then we see that damn Corrupt. He says that he's great at solving things, but yet his alcoholic ass can't solve his drinking issues. Now, that's what's interesting. And these niggas always trying to brag, honey, about the smallest shit and be having the biggest problems and can't help figure that out. Can't get that together, though, huh? Corrupt. Okay, I see you. Next, we have Medina. He finally figures out the code to get out of the room. Medina says that he feels alone in his relationship with Phaedra, honey. He feels like he is by himself. Next, we see the boot campers. They all come out and discuss Willie for having the 12 affairs. And I wouldn't waste my time, but honey, that's what they felt they needed to do. We got Corrupt's drunk ass. He tries to make excuses for Willie's behavior, saying that Willie is a new man now and he is not his mistakes. And I said, that's a damn lie. Okay. Shonda, her stupid self, ends up listening to Corrupt and says he makes a lot of sense when he ain't been doing all that damn drinking. What Pac say in Poetic Justice about that damn girl, Aisha? She need to work at a liquor store much as she be drinking. And that's what I feel about Corrupt, honey. Okay, he need to work at a liquor store. I wouldn't be listening to no drunk ass man when it come to my relationship. But since Shonda, she excuses Willie's behavior any other time, honey, why would this be different? So she goes to check up on Willie because Corrupt told her to go find your man, honey, and work it out. We see Dr. Ish. He sits down with Willie and talks to him about his affairs. Willie says he feels disrespected by Shonda and how she talks to him. Then we see Shonda. She joins them. And then they talk about Willie was new to success when he married Shonda. And, he got into his group, Day 26. He went out on tour. He was meeting new women. And I'm just like, Willie, you was too young to settle down. That's why all this shit happened the way that it did. That and you can't keep your damn dick in your pants, but I digress. So, Willie gets to apologizing to Shonda for all the hurt and pain, honey, that he caused her and the family, and she forgives him for now. Then we see Hazel E and Davon. They come back from the hospital. We discover that Hazel E is pregnant. Dr. Ish gets on Davon for his temper and snatching Hazel E's phone. Next, we see the boot campers meet in the boot camp room. Dr. Ish gives them bracelets. Hazel E, she can't wear one because she's pregnant. Dr. Ish gives them remotes to the bracelets. And first, he gives Tahiry hers first. And basically what Tahiry is supposed to do is she's supposed to shock Vado every time Vado inflicts pain on her. She is to shock him with the remote. Then we see Tony, honey, she already threatening Corrupt and his drunk ass. I'm like, girl, you ain't got to shock him. You just push his ass down and he go shut up and be quiet, honey. But she was threatening Corrupt. I was like, girl, I would have fire. It would be 4th of July, okay, with his ass. I'd be shocking his ass, be like, you drunk all the fucking time. I'm sick of it, nigga. Sick of taking your vitamins. Your vital signs, I should say. I would just be shocking the hell out of him. But honey, that's just me. Tahiry is to shock Vado whenever he loses his temper and begins yelling and snapping on Tahiry. And without, listening to her, because he seems to have a habit of that. And Vado is excited about shocking Tahiry. He says that she rolls her eyes too much and she constantly talks back to him. So basically, all of the couples have a number of reasons to shock their partners. Now, Tony notices that Corrupt is on his best behavior because he doesn't want to get shocked. Shonda starts shocking Willie just to see if the device works. Next, we see Tahiry and Vado. They have a conversation at dinner, and Vado isn't listening to Tahiry. He's interrupted Tahiry, and then she shocks him. Vado feels he could have shocked Tahiry, but, he says, I haven't. I could have been shocking her. She wasn't listening to me either. And I'm like, both of y'all childish. Both of y'all don't know how to communicate and, just end the relationship and stop wasting our time, okay? He ends up shocking Tahiry, honey, out of spite. Tahiry gets frustrated and walks away from Vado. Vado tells her to come back. Tahiry refuses to come back and talk to Vado, and then he shocks her again. She says, ouch. We see Phaedra says to Tahiry, girl, you need to follow the instructions. And I'm like, goddamn, Phaedra, that's the motherfucking pot calling the kettle black because you didn't even participate in the escape room experience. Make it make sense because that don't make no damn sense. Shonda once again brings up Willie's affairs. And I'm like, Shonda, are you going anywhere? No, you're going to stay your ass right in that relationship. So, girl, shut the hell up, okay? Willie starts farting while he eating tacos. Shonda shocks him. He shocks her. Child, it was just a mess. Shonda starts walking off. We see Phaedra. Phaedra says she's on her best behavior because she doesn't want to get shot. And, we see Phaedra is all on Medina's lap, playing the whole passive-aggressive role. And I'm like, Phaedra, you're not even involved in the activities. You can't even pretend to get involved in the activities. Make it make sense. But Medina, he ain't had no cootie cat. He's so happy to have her big ass sitting on his lap. So, he getting his rocks off of that. I'm like, neither one of them shocked each other. I feel like in a relationship, you guys, they are way too passive aggressive. I don't know if they are really there to fix any of their issues. It just this is how it looked like she just called him at the last minute, say, hey, I need a marriage boot camp check, you want one? And then that is how we see, Phaedra and Medina, because to me, they weren't even participating. We see Hazel, she shocks Devon for ignoring her while she's talking. Then he squirts water all up in her face. They laugh and having a good time with it. That was funny. Next, we see Tahiry. She keeps getting shocked by Vado, which is against the rules. You are never to shock your partner just for the hell of it. But Vado, he wanted to get a rise out of Tahiry, and honey, he was getting it, honey, okay? Tahiry, we see her, she takes her bracelet off and yells at Vado. Honey, they have horrible communication. When do these two not argue? They don't really work together that well. And Tahiry, if the man acts like a child, sis, why are you with him? What are you getting out of this relationship? Okay, I'm not understanding why these two are together, okay? So next we see Tahiry and Vado. They're screaming at each other. Tahiry says she's wasting her time with him, and she said time is money and he doesn't pay the bills. I said, ooh, child, that's about your second time insulting this man's finances, honey, okay? So next we see Tony and Devon. They tell Vado to stop reacting to Tahiry. Willie tells Tahiry to get her act together. Tahiry says she ain't doing nothing wrong. Then we see Vado comes in and starting a whole bunch of shit with Tahiry. She yells at him and gets up from the table and throws some apples at him. I was like, Tahiry, girl, you is wrong for that. You shouldn't be hitting this man with no apples. Ladies, if you don't want a man putting his hands on you, you are not to hit him with apples or any other objects. Don't put your hands on him. Don't do it, okay? It's not right for anybody, honey, to put their hands on anybody or to throw objects, all right? So next we see Vado. He is in the confessional saying that he feels disrespected and that somebody is gonna get hurt. I'm like, gonna get hurt? Nigga, where? Who? Why? Like, what's going on? You that upset? Okay. So next we see all the boot campers. They gather around Dr. Ish and they discuss the day's activities. Dr. Ish talks to Willie and Shonda about the shocking activity, and he pretty much goes over with them why each of them were, being shocked during that activity. Dr. Ish also shares with Shonda that she should have been shocked a lot more, and Willie let her slide, because Willie likes to be passive aggressive and keeps things inside to avoid any type of confrontation. Dr. Ish says that is not the right way to act in your relationships. Dr. Ish also talks to Devon and Hazel about their issues. He gets on Devon about his temper and him snapping at Hazel. He also gets on Devon for not sharing with Hazel, his frustrations. He's another one that likes to keep things all bottled up and then he explodes out the blue. Then Dr. Ish gets to Phaedra and Medina, and he gets on Phaedra for not participating in the escape room. And he asks Phaedra, what's the worst part of a divorce? And Phaedra answers the question, gives him some bullshit answer, and Dr. Ish says the problem is you gave up, and that is what you did in the activity. Medina felt alone. You stopped participating, and I just feel like that really made Phaedra look bad. It just really comes off like she is not on marriage boot camp with Medina for the right reasons. Okay, so Phaedra, you need to get your shit together. Next, we see Tahiry and Vado. Dr. Ish has a few words for them. First, Tahiry speaks, and Tahiry says that Vado was enticing her to be the person that she doesn't want to be anymore. And then she looks crazy to everybody else. And I see, what she was saying, but she was still wrong for throwing them damn apples at Vado. And then, honey, out the blue, Out the blue, Vado begins choking her and everybody is stunned and shocked. I'm like, Vado, what is your problem? What is going on? He did say, though, somebody was going to get hurt, but I wasn't expecting all this. Tahiry is shocked and stunned, honey. Dr. Ish removes Vado from Tahiry's throat, honey, because he was like choking her out, honey. It was crazy. Everybody was just shocked and surprised. Next we see Dr. Ish walks Vado out, and Vado says that he's going to the county, and you goddamn right, because you shouldn't have put your hands on that woman. You was wrong. Tahiry was wrong for throwing the damn apples, but Vado, that was no way for you to respond. That was just all wrong. You all on camera, being violent towards a lady. People go drag you for that. Like I said, I feel like Tahiry was wrong as well, but to me, what Vado did was worse, and two wrongs, honey, don't make it right. Okay, how you doing? Y'all get down in those comments. Let me know how you felt about this episode of Marriage Boot Camp, honey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out later.